I'm feeling a little nostalgic here, real schoolers. So I'd like to share a little wisdom if I could. So why don't you come and sit on old Uncle Mike's lap? No wait, that sounds dirty, never mind that. Being a high school teacher, I've been asked many times by my students about the future. So I'll answer the question once and for all. Is high school the best time of your life? Hell no! Now I know that not all students feel that way. Not all of them think that high school has to be the best time of their life. Some of them are probably going through a really tough time in high school. But it doesn't matter if you're the quarterback, the prom queen, or some awkward, artsy, gifted kid. Yes, I'm talking about me. For all you kids out there, just know that yes, it gets better. You want some proof? Okay, here's your proof. I went from this to this. If I had a mic right now, I would drop it. This is real school. So bye bye, Miss American Pie. Whoa, here we are. American Reunion, or as some are calling it, American Pie 4. That is, if you forget about the other 4 straight-to-video pieces of crap that the American Pie franchise used. Man, I'm telling you, they not only exploited this franchise, they sold it straight into prostitution. And not that classy, high-priced kind of prostitution, the really sketchy European kind, you know, the kind that, like, sent Liam Neeson after people? Yeah. One of the first things I wanted to talk about in terms of American Reunion was the fact that they said that they finally got the whole cast of the original back together. So of course my sarcastic question is, what the hell was this cast doing that they couldn't get everybody back together before this? I mean, what was Jason Biggs doing? Proving that he's not even sitcom material again? Yeah, I know that filming 9 episodes of a failed TV show, that could be exhausting. Was Manos Huvari too busy making another crappy Musketeer film? Because I hear that that torch is passed to Mila Jovovich. In fact, the more I thought about it, the more it dawned on me that the further and further we get into the 21st century, the less of a career that all of these guys had. Sure, Biggs and Suvari and even Seann William Scott, well, they occasionally make a film, but they are usually worse than garbage. And Alyson Hannigan, yeah, she's done a good job. She was great on Buffy, and she's even made a success when it comes to How I Met Your Mother. But the films that she's made are worse than garbage. See, now it's gotten to the point where I can count the amount of films that Chris Klein, Natasha Lyonne, and that kid from Rookie of the Year have made on one hand. Ironically enough, that's still probably a higher number than the minutes of screen time that Natasha Lyonne and Shannon Elizabeth had in this film. Okay, I've calmed down. The reason I'm upset, though, is because, you know what? In the first place, like I had said at the beginning, I'm actually nostalgic for this film franchise. Not only was 1999, the year the original American Pie was released, a fantastic year for film, arguably one of the best years for film ever, but it was actually a very important year for me personally in terms of growth. So when I heard Tara Reid in the trailer say, "What's up, class of 99ers?" You know what I thought to myself? Wow, it's great to see her sober. No. After that, I actually really want to see this movie. I wanted to go and see it and get these great moments where the film speaks directly to you. And you know what? I got them. Being in your 30s, well, it can be a weird kind of time sometimes. This film, much like the 1999 original, really spoke to me. Now, I'm not married, thank God. I don't have any kids, that I know of. But I still really understood what this film was trying to say. The franchise itself had grown up, and so had the characters. Sure, it still had that raunchy comedy and sex-oriented humor that you expected, but really, surprisingly, there was more to it. Most surprisingly, it was an earn it. It may not be everybody's cup of tea. If you didn't like the first few American Pie films, you probably won't like this one, but it was really interesting to see the franchise evolve. Which brings me to my next point of business. Who do I give my For the Win to this episode? I could give it to Natasha Lyonne because, man, did I have a crush on her when I was 19. Or maybe I give the For the Win to John Cho because the guy was hilarious in this movie, and thinking about it, he probably had the best career after the original. What with Harold and Kumar, and then he made Star Trek, and the fact is he's going to be in the Total Recall remake later on this year. Or you know what would be a good For the Win? Eddie K. Thomas, the guy who played Finch. Man, do I love that character. We're talking about an artsy intellectual. He overcompensates with women. He even lies to his friends sometimes to make himself seem more interesting. Yeah, I can kind of relate to that character. But you know what? I'm going to go with an unconventional pick. For the win, My Boys. The film reminded me that, you know what, even though things change and realistically I don't get to see these guys as much as I used to, they're still my brothers. Sorry, Real Schoolers, I know I don't usually get that poignant and emotional and, well, important here on Real School. I promise, it won't happen again. But before I go, since I'm being all nostalgic, I gotta ask another poll question. What is your favorite film from 1999? Is it my personal favorite, Fight Club, or maybe the original Matrix, American Beauty? I mean, the list goes on and on. Of course, answer the poll question below in the comments section. Please subscribe if you haven't already. Be sure to like, be sure to comment, be sure to spread the gospel that is Real School. And until next time, school's out.